All right. LDWMMAC. Boy, look at Telly Savalas. I mean Dana White on my screen. Man, look, y'all forgive the background noise, okay? Salute to PJS woman. She wanted to hear me talk on the whole Dana White UFC TKO Paramount Plus $7.7 billion deal. Okay, so what are my thoughts? Dana White announced the end of the pay-per-view era for, MMA in the UFC. Okay, he announced the end of the pay-per-view model. Said it's gone. He said we can make MMA more accessible. We can make championship fights more affordable. And I think the people will appreciate that. Okay, I 100% agree with Dana White, okay? This is a win-win situation for Dana White and the UFC and TKO. It's a win-win situation for the fans. However, it's not a win-win situation for the fighters. And I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. It's not a win-win situation for the fighters. For the fighters, it's gonna suck for the fighters. It's gonna absolutely suck for these fighters. But for us and Dana White, man, this is heaven. Okay? I mean, just think about it, okay? No more paying $80 pay-per-views. Now, here's me, okay? Sometimes, you would pay the $80 because you just wanted peace of mind. You just wanted peace of mind. Like, you wanted a clean pay-per-view. A clean pay-per-view where you don't have to deal with lag. Okay, you don't have to worry about somebody, a malware downloading into your computer. Okay, you don't have to, get rid of pop-up ads all over the damn place when you're dealing with a stream. Like, just a nice, clean stream with none of that, with no headaches. Sometimes, the $80 is worth it. Sometimes it is. But sometimes when you at the end of the month and you kind of thinking about your wallet and you like, well, should I pay this $80 for this fight? No. Sometimes you're going to stream it. And let's just be real, okay? A lot of us, we've streamed fights. I know I have. You have. Everybody watching this video done streamed a fight because sometimes it's cheaper on the wallet. But, however, there's some things that come along whenever you stream a fight. It makes your device slower because it puts malware on your computer. Some people can deal with that because they just want to see the fight, okay? Makes your device slower. You got to deal with a bunch of pop-up ads. And the streams they're not that great. Like you see like these pixelated images, the stream is lagging. It's like you have to fight that in order to look at the damn fight. So it's a lot of like cons to using the illegal stream, okay? But now here it is though. I heard Dana White and then even was it Nick Maynard? They said, man, when a UFC event sell 1 million pay-per-views, okay? They said there's some 8 to 9 million people that's actually streaming it illegally. Y'all get that? Think about it. A fight do 1 million pay-per-views, then you got another 8 million people that's streaming it illegally. Folks, that's a lot of people watching mixed martial arts. That's a lot of people. And me thinking, hey, I was almost thinking that it wasn't that many people watching it, but I mean, I'm wrong. Folks, if that many people is still in pay-per-views, and you're talking about $80 a pop, let's say 9 million people are watching mixed martial arts, 9 mil, okay? Guys, how much money is that? Okay? How much money? That's $720 million. Okay, $640 million, okay, when you don't count the million people that bought it. But when you count the other 8 million that didn't buy it, that's $640 million, man. $640 million per fight or per pay-per-view. It's a lot of money. So I guess what is the UFC trying to do? What are they trying to do to combat that? Well, okay, I even recommend that you gotta lower the prices, man. Because people, they're not gonna keep paying $69.99 and $79.99. They're not gonna keep paying that every time there's a pay-per-view. People get tired of that shit. People get tired of it, and you price gouging the fans. The fans, they get tired of it. And they want something more. Fans want more. Okay? They want more, and I think this is going to benefit the fans and Dana. Okay, so look. Dana White, he got this harebrained idea. Like, look, some of those 8 to 9 million people, we can recoup some of those people. See, we were never going to get these people anyway. They were never going to come. They were not going to do it legally. But now we can get some of these people legally at $12.99 a month. Well, do you think if Dana White can recoup per pay-per-view outing, right? If he can get even 5 million of those people to come to Paramount Plus, You think he did it? I think he did his job because you wasn't gonna get these people anyway. See, I'd much rather have a million people. I'd much rather have a million people. Okay, I'd much rather have 7 to 8 million people paying $13 than to have 1 million people paying $80 million, and then 8 to 9 million people steal from it. Now you still gonna have people, no matter what you charge, they still gonna steal it. Okay, but for the most part, you can get an overwhelmingly majority of these people to come back and pay for, the cost of the fights, which is $12.99. You can get people to do that. $12.99 is not taxing your wallet. Okay, absolutely not. That's not a tax on your wallet. People will happily do that. People will happily pay. People will happily pay $12.99 for 12 months. $13 for 12 months. People happily do that. Okay, they'll pay $156 a year instead of paying $80. Okay, $80 for 12 months. Okay, that's almost like what, $1,000? Well, no, hell, more than that. I'd say like 20 pay-per-views. 20 pay-per-views. Okay, guys, that's like $1,600. If you were to buy all the pay-per-views in a year, that's damn near $1,600. See, people, instead of paying that, people will go and pay $156. They'll pay $12.99 for 12 months. People can do that. And people be happy about that. You're not going to miss $156 in a year. You're not going to miss that. Okay, but you can see $1,600 gone in a year. You can see that. You're going to miss that. I'm talking about as middle class working people, we're going to miss that. That's just what it is. We're going to miss it. And that's just how it is. The fighters, they're not going to benefit as much, okay? When the UFC sign any deals, do these fighters ever benefit? Do they ever benefit? Have their contracts went up? Have their pay went up? No, it hadn't. Their contracts hadn't gotten any bigger. Their pay hadn't went up. The fighters don't benefit. The crypto deal worth $175 million. Remember Ariel Helwani, his big ass nose, he reported that these fighters, they ain't get 1 cent. They got no money, but they got to rep crypto. When they come to the ring, they got to wear those crypto shirts. And they ain't getting no money to wear that stuff, man. They get no money to put those crypto shirts on. Nothing. The only money they get is that Venom money. That's it. Outside of their contract. It's highway robbery. And these fighters, they just got used to it. Okay, the UFC, they're used to robbing these fighters blind, taking the lion's share of everything. That these fighters, they don't even see it as, they being robbed. So they finna get $7.7 billion. These fighters, they're not going to see that money. They ain't going to see it. Do you know the UFC can host an event, and do you know that the live gate itself is enough to pay the fighters, to pay all the fighters? Do y'all know that? Do y'all know a live gate when they sell tickets is enough to pay the fighters? And then all the other revenue and all the other revenue, the UFC, they don't even have to tap into that to pay these fighters. Because the fighters get paid garbage. And see, what Dana White also they're trying to do is they're trying to bring boxing over to TKO, over to the Paramount Plus. But see, these fighters, they're not going to fight for $500K. They're just not going to do it. These top tier fighters, they ain't finna fight for no $500K. They're not finna get in there. And like boxing, I think they know they do more for the fighters. The promoters and the fighters in boxing they don't suffer. The fans in boxing suffer. I wish I can draw it on the board for y'all, like how the dichotomy works. Like as an MMA fan, I'm happy because I'm gonna get the fights I want to see. Okay, I'm gonna get those fights when I want to see them. Okay, the fighters might not be too happy. Okay, but we as fans, we ain't getting none of that money. But damn it, we finna get some of the savings. Our wallets are finna be a little bit, like heavier now because of this. But these fighters, they ain't finna have more money in their pocket because of this. I can tell you that now. But boxing, hell, the fighters, they make all the money. The promoters make the money, and the fans pay. And the fans don't benefit in the boxing model. So they're gonna have to kind of find a way to bring everything together so everybody can benefit. I don't know how that's gonna work out. Okay, them bringing everything together so everybody can benefit from it. I don't know how it's gonna work out. I don't know, y'all, but I do know that this is a pretty good deal. Now, in the future, when Dana White, the UFC, they realize that they need to be taking in more money, they're going to increase the price of Paramount Plus, okay? It's going to go from $7.99 and $12.99. They'll probably increase that to $10.99 and $14.99. They're going to increase the price. It's not going to stay like this. They can't. They can't sustain this model because remember, Bellator tried this. Bellator tried this and it didn't work. Okay? You guys got to remember, Bellator and Scott Coker, they tried to do something similar to this. The problem with Bellator and Scott Coker is that they sucked at promotion. They sucked at promotion. They didn't promote very well. So with them not being good promoters, Bellator went under. We never knew about Bellator fights, but now in the UFC, I gotta admit, they do a decent job of promoting the fights and pushing the fights out there so we can see. Or we know about them. We do know about it, okay? Is what it is. They do a hell of a job pushing and promoting the fights. That's about it. Bellator? Hell no. Bellator did a terrible job. So what Dana White and company gonna do? They're gonna go up the price after the first year. Don't be shocked if Paramount Plus go up. Don't be shocked about that. It's going to happen. Like it or don't like it, it is. But it's a good deal for the fans. It's a good deal for the fans. And now more people will be tuned in. More people will be tuned in. And we'll get to see the fights that we want to see when we want to see them.